Hi, friends and companions along this path of spiritual practice. Anytime that we step into waiting, we step into time. Buddhists all over the world chant these famous verses from the Diamond Sutra, which has to do with time. You should view this fleeting world, a star at dawn, a bubble in a stream, a flash of lightning in a summer cloud, a flickering lamp, a phantom, and a dream. These are beautiful metaphors, images of that core teaching of Buddhism, which is about impermanence. Impermanence that gets at the rising, the enduring, and then the disappearing of all things. Impermanence that is about time. But there is a co-arising and complementary teaching in Buddhism that is interdependence. Sometimes for those of us studying Buddhism, these core concepts are sort of confusing. Impermanence, interdependence, emptiness. But if impermanence is about time, interdependence is much more about space. There's a famous analogy that is drawn in Buddhism that helps to get at this notion of impermanence and interdependence, particularly the impermanent self. Think about an ocean, a vast ocean. The waves that arise, endure, and then disappear is about impermanence. Everything is that wave that comes into being, exists for a while, and then disappears. But another way of viewing this impermanent self is to regard that self as the whole vast ocean itself. It is an interdependent nexus of dynamic relationships occurring everywhere. The self is fluid. It is a relational activity that is happening. And if you want to get a sense of this self, if you want to get a coherent sense of what the self is, look at the vastness of that space. Look at all of the ways that there is interdependence structuring even this self. Impermanence that pivots toward time, interdependence that pivots toward spatial relations. Buddhism teaches that even as impermanence is a cornerstone of its teaching, that time-based self is very fragile, it's very volatile, because time is very volatile and dynamic and powerful. And so in order to step into practicing with time, Buddhism begins by stepping into space, the space that is as close to us as our embodied space. This is why Zen Buddhism in particular spends an inordinate amount of time detailing how we are to sit, what our posture is supposed to be like, that we need to ground ourselves on those 3 points of basis, 2 knees and the elevated hips, and then to keep our spine upright so that we might occupy whatever that practice space is in that noble posture, upright. This inordinate attention to getting that space right is about Zen's concern around how difficult it is to practice with time. But if we can find an integrity, a coherence with space, with our body, with our environment, our immediate surrounding. And if we can regularly come back to the integrity of that space, then we're ready to stepping into the practice of time. So friends, a practical reminder as we are living further into the season of time and waiting, a reminder about our posture, a reminder about space, a reminder to look for the integrity and the coherence of our practice in ensuring that we are embodied, grounded in our bodies, in our practice. And so we continue with our practice.